People will buy houses thousands of dollars on it.
So all that together.
Happy Father's Day weekend to everyone here, including Barbette Smith, who is a stylist to the stars, and she said I dress like Dad.
I did, except he didn't really wear these on Park Avenue at Bankers Trust, but
Can you
No
do a
one likes it.
makeover?
maybe he should have.
Will you do a makeover for Bill?
Oh my God, I
Come
can't
on.
wait. I've been trying to do it for like
What?
20 years.
What? How appropriate, because welcome to Weekend Live, the Hamptons. Now, we always say if you're watching this, everything we're talking about is happening this weekend.
Weekend.
We're gonna take you. I did not know that. That is weird wild. We're gonna take you to the movies. We're gonna take you to tag sales. There's gonna be a real estate open house roundtable. But speaking of me needing a makeover, we're gonna talk a little later on about what women want men to wear this summer. Apparently, according to Patrick, it's not,
Not that.
this.
Let me see.
It's what women want?
I didn't know Exxon made clothes.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Hess.
Exxon. Like this is oil related? I don't understand.
Yeah, I
that.
don't even
It was like workmen kind of thing.
Hey,
Let me try that again. I didn't know
Wrangler.
John Deere made clothing. How about that? That's what I should have said.
Robert Hall would be funny.
No,
or
actually,
I thought
it's J.
you
Crew.
can't
It's
give
J.
you
Crew. And I
blanket.
like J. I think I'm wearing J. No.
Happy Father's Day to all fathers out there. There are 2 new movies opening this week. We're going to get to them in a second. One of them is called Materialist with Dakota Johnson. She joins us along with Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal, the guy who is in everything. In fact, do you guys watch This Is Us on HBO? Which
No, but I heard about
Yeah, me
it.
too.
I heard
Me too.
about it.
I
So
couldn't
there's-
cry anymore.
There's a big,
honestly.
big spoiler, which is he's not on the show anymore. So everybody was complaining about it, and then they tweeted out, HBO said, hey, he's in everything else. So he is in this opening movie called The Materialist this weekend.
Didn't there the numbers dropped after, or was it the season
Yes,
finale?
30. No,
No,
you're
I
right.
think it was the finale.
30%.
Yeah.
30%.
30%.
Well, that would end up in a finale.
We also have some great little pups to adopt here. They're doing at our friends from Arferback.
So cute.
They've been in business 50 years, and it's called Rescues and Rosé. I love the rosé part. That's on Saturday
We're going.
from 4 to 7 o'clock. Yeah,
I'm
and
going to be there. Dogs, wine, what's not to
Kim
like?
Nichols
Exactly.
and Kim Nichols and Jamie Berger here, and they brought some special brought some special guests.
They brought
We'll
some
show
special
those.
burgers.
No, they're
For the dogs?
Jamie's a special burger. Kim Nichols is
I'm
great.
a
And,
Hamburglar.
what else are we doing today? We're also going to go. Remember my Hamptons hack? Last week it was
Yeah.
Serene Green. This week it's where to get a reasonably priced lobster roll. And also, if you're cooking for Dad this
Guffaw.
weekend, we've got a great
Yeah, that is
suggestion for you. So yeah, we were talking
Make
about
it.
how expensive lobster salad is last week, and
Yeah.
how it's tracking on
We
the
need to
Dow
track
Jones
that.
Industrial Average and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to show you a great lobster roll out here for $16, and we'll tell you where to get it. Also,
That is
if you're cooking,
cheap.
I know, and if you're cooking for Dad, we've this special guest. Actually, it's from the seafood shop around the corner, is going to be showing us what you can cook for Dad this weekend so that he doesn't have to. There's a ton of places, by the way, to go for brunch, including, let's get a picture
Let
up
the dogs
of
cook
Baker House.
hamburgers.
These are our pals, Antonella.
Antonella Bertola.
As Baker House. Here's the, the reason I'm pointing this one out, like all the restaurants are having a special thing, but they don't have a restaurant per se. So they are obviously catering some kind of a luncheon, and there's the lawn. Dad does not have to mow this weekend. So
Wow.
it's gorgeous back
It's
there.
so
It's like an English
beautiful.
garden, and they're doing a brunch for dads this weekend. So as are many, many other places.
Wait, like
but
single
that's-
dads, any dad?
Yes,
Dad
any
dads?
dad. A single guy could walk in and maybe get adopted, just like ARF. Maybe
I think that should be a twofer. At Wolfers.
ARF could
With
now mean
Wolfer.
rescue father. ARF could be rescue a
Yeah.
dad.
Can I just go back to the seafood shop again?
Please.
Other than all the great, the normal stuff, they have the seafood and the lobster and
Right.
whatever. They have the best key lime pie in the
They
Hamptons.
do? Colin, is that true?
It is.
Colin
They have,
Wow.
And listen, my brother-in-law, who grew up in Miami, who considers himself the connoisseur of key lime pie, swears by the seafood shop's key lime pie. It's the best key lime pie in the Hamptons.
Okay, I've got a one for you. If
What?
you put, the biscuit that they give you on JetBlue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you rub
Biscoff,
lime on
Biscoff,
it,
the Biscoff.
Yeah. If you rub lime on it, it's key lime pie.
Ooh, yum.
Is that
That's
true?
a hack. Yeah,
Really?
totally.
That's a
hack of all
A Biscoff
hacks.
cookie with limes. Tastes
Yeah, I
like-
swear to God,
I
the
like
woman
that.
on there.
I'd rather just go to the seafood shop and buy.
Hey, we're going to take you behind the scenes of
You have to
how
travel
to
to get
train
this.
your dragon. That's the one to take kids to. We're going to show you the weather in a minute. It may be a movie kind of a weekend. Also, Jesse Eisenberg and
Kind
Julianne
of
Moore.
a movie weekend?
Yeah, it might be because if the weather is bad, you want to go.
No, I think it's
Back it
going to
up.
be a movie
Okay.
weekend.
We have an outdoor-related situation
Oh, except for
with
it's going to be
dogs.
sunny for the ARF
Yes.
Rescue Umbrella.
Okay.
They have a big, gorgeous indoors at ARF.
Yeah.
They're going to be fine.
I would like to live in one of those.
Yeah.
I promise you, we had cats that went in there and they were gorged.
Well,
I think if they sold it,
completed-
they could probably get about at least $8 million for it.
I've
So
stayed
there you
there
go.
because when I get in trouble
'Cause
with
you're a
my wife and
dog.
she says, you're going to the doghouse, I go to ARF, it's gorgeous. They spent a lot of money remodeling that place. Anyway, we're going to go behind the scenes, speaking of pets, of How to Train Your Dragon and also The Materialist we mentioned a moment ago. In a second, we're going to show you a special quiz that the Materialist cast did, and you're not going to be able to go as fast as they did. It's guessing certain rom-coms based on a line from that rom-com. This is something
I have, like,
think
dementia
Elle did in
already.
England, and I saw it online. I'm like, we got to show that. So we'll show that in a second. But first, I went to the East Hampton this week early for one of the early screenings of Materialist, and there was Nathan Lane in line getting his popcorn and his ticket. And you're a big Nathan Lane fan?
Yeah, we love. Who can't love?
He's funny.
Very funny.
And so I said, are you seeing The Materialist? And he said, no, I'm going to see How to Train Your Dragon. And I said, are you getting a dragon?
Are you in it?
He's like,
Well,
he's
that was
not
my
in it.
question.
But when I said, are you going to eat, he like laughed. And so
A good
I didn't
laugh?
see him. Yeah, I think so.
Why
I
was
think
he
so.
going to see how you
I don't know. He must have had a friend in it. He may have
Maybe.
known somebody. It was
Yeah.
just the two of them.
Well, he
at
lives
East
right. He
Hampton.
lives right in town. I see
It's-
him walking his dogs every
And
now
he's
then.
just a nice, informational guy.
He is.
Don't you think he wants
is.
to
He's very
know how to
laid back.
train a dragon?
Don't we all? In the meantime, let's go to the Materialist quiz. This was something that they asked the three stars, Dakota Johnson,
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, who we said is in everything, and Chris Evans. The movie is quite good, and here's what UK, I think, wanted to know.
I'm Dakota Johnson,
I'm Chris Evans.
I am Pedro Pascal.
and we are playing. Pedro goes first.
I wrote you
The Notebook.
God.
the Notebook.
To me, you are perfect.
Oh, Love Actually.
It's written. Love Actually.
It's written.
Let me do the whole line.
Okay, I'll try.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
When Harry met Sally.
Jeez,
Right on.
Chris, you're good at this game. That's 2 for Chris.
You had me at hello.
Come on, come on. Come on.
Look into my eyes. I wish I knew how to quit you.
Brokeback Mountain.
It's you.
I don't know which one of the two says it, so I'm going to try them both.
Oh gosh.
We'll always.
Casablanca.
Does Ingrid Bergman say it, or does Humphrey Bogart? We'll always have Paris.
That was a good one.
I liked it.
We'll always have Paris.
You jump, I jump. Remember?
You jump, I jump. So
I feel like
they're
I'm
gonna
crushing this.
they're gonna jump, right? They're gonna jump off of something.
I don't want to say her names. That'll give it away. I'm trying to think of obscure lines, but they're.
Titanic?
Titanic. Chris, look into my eyes.
Here we go.
You have bewitched me, body and soul. And I love you.
Is
I
that
did it pretty good.
Pride and Prejudice?
Bro,
Bam!
maybe.
Wow.
I'm just a girl.
Standing in front of a bull. Asking him to love me.
Oh man,
Notting
what a
Hill.
movie.
Which
What a
that's a clip I've seen.
I love. Have you not seen Notting Hill? All right, movie night.
When I see your face, I see gray.
Oh, that's this movie. That's me. I say that line.
Who won?
We actually have a tie between Chris and Dakota.
What's the prize?
I did not know all
I
of
love
those.
that.
I
I
did
only
not
knew
know all
one.
of those. Well, that's a great way to set that movie up. However, if you watch the trailer to Materialist, it looks like a rom-com, and it's not. It's a dramedy leading on drama, and it's really quite good, but it's small. It's opening this weekend. Let's take a look. Did you guys know all of those?
No, I knew none of it.
I knew about 3 or 4.
Yeah, I go to
Oh, no,
movies.
I knew one, but I didn't know this
I
movie.
used to go to movies.
I know.
Don't say that, because we want folks to go, especially this weekend. If
Yes.
they're not going to ARF, they're going to go to the movies. And
No,
hear
they're
the
gonna go
movie
to
telling.
ARF and the movies.
Look, we're in the big screen. So let's start with, well, you pick it, guys, in the control room. There's East Hampton, where I said I saw that movie. It's Materials for, there, you see the times there.
Mission
It's Friday,
Impossible is still
Saturday, and
playing.
Sunday.
Lilo and Stitch
Mission-
is too.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch, so
What's
far the biggest movie
Ballerina?
of the summer. Oh, Ballerina is the John Wick world with Anna Damaris, the one that
And you know
was
what,
dating-
Bill? All the critics agree with you. Ballerina is probably one of the best movies of the summer. No one's going to see it.
Okay, well,
No,
I
it made
am
$100
now.
million last weekend. What are you talking about?
Did it?
Yeah, it
Are you
it
sure?
outperformed everything they thought it was going to do.
Oh.
At
What do I
Sag
know?
Harbor,
Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah, the
Another
Phoenix-
Wes Anderson
that's the one
movie.
Anderson.
I saw one. You saw them all.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't do that.
we could show you the trailer to the Phoenician scheme, and you would not have to go. I'm sorry, that's just
Yeah,
the way it is
maybe.
with
It is
them.
true.
And then finally, Southampton
Wes, we
Playhouse.
love you.
This is where on Saturday they're doing a special screening that we're not showing here, but that's fine, unless there's another screener for this.
Phoenician Scheme
They're
is
showing Zombieland, and Jesse Eisenberg, who starred in that along with
Yeah.
Bill Murray and
Love
a
him.
bunch of other people, is coming to do a Q&A there at 5 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, before that, he and Julianne Moore are reading from a new children's book that she's doing. So
Oh,
that's
you're gonna
happening
go to that, Bill?
Saturday. I
That's
think so,
kind of
yeah.
a combo.
Yeah, that's happening Saturday at the Southampton Playhouse. All right, back to live action. That's what you're doing if it's
live?
raining out. Yeah, but is it raining? Hey, we're going to meet some very special guests in a moment, but first, let's take a look at the weather, and then we're going to go, arf!
The
arf.
weather. Let's talk about the weather. Is this?
Yeah,
We're not
we're
pre-recorded
talking over
this week.
but no.
Let me say hello.
Oh, job.
We are ready to roll over and beg for our friends at ARF, and here they are. Kim Nichols is in charge of everything. Jamie Berger backs her up. And look tell us who you have with us, and then we'll talk about the special this weekend.
Hi, this is Laura, and she is a 3-month-old puppy.
And of any papers that besides the one she goes on?
What do you want her to be, Bill? That's what she is. We think lab mix.
You're beautiful. And who do you have over there?
This is Huey. He's 4 months old, and he's a husky mix. Look at this guy. Beautiful.
I'm a husky mix. So how long have you had them, and what's going to happen this weekend at ARF?
Huey has been with us almost a month, and he's growing up quick. We're hoping that we find the perfect home for him because he already knows a lot of his basic obedience.
Oh, really?
Laura just...
Huey? No, not that obedient. Hey, there you are. And
He's very treat
I
motivated.
see how large his ears are. That means he's going to get bigger, right?
Yeah, that and
On the paws.
this is a good barometer.
Right.
And then Laura just became available for adoption this week. She is new to us, and she's still a little baby.
Yeah. And on some kind of drugs, it looks like. No, I'm kidding.
It's
She's
nap
very,
time.
very
She just
docile.
had her lunch and now she's napping.
Oh, okay. So talk to me about Rescues and Rosé.
Yeah, so you can meet these dogs and many more tomorrow at ARF. We're doing
Saturday, if they're watching this on Saturday, and Sunday, we should say, if you missed it, you can still go by ARF, right? You're open 7 days a week.
We're open 7 days a week, and we encourage everybody to stop by and visit with the cats and dogs. And at Rescues in Rosé, there'll be lots of available dogs and puppies that will be with the crowd. We're really excited. It's the first time we're doing something like this, and we have an incredible array of food and a raw bar, but then a lot of different stations. So I'm just gonna drop a few hints.
Sure.
There's a Vespa, there's a sailboat, there's a Mercedes convertible. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening at this party.
Wait a minute, can we buy that stuff? Is it gonna be auctioned off, or there's gonna be raffle, or what are you doing there?
Well,
It's all
You gotta come to the
surprise?
party if you wanna learn more.
Okay.
You'll get that face.
Yeah, I'll be there.
He was like, I'm
Look at
going.
that. So this is the first Rescues in Rosé that you're doing. Which breed likes rosé? Do we know?
All of them. This is the Hamptons.
You're not giving rosé to the dogs.
No, we're not. No, we're not. And we have other drinks other than rosé, and they're named after some of our rescues. So we have a Lucy's Lemonade, we have a Tonka Twist. You know, we've had a lot of fun taking some of our favorite dogs and cats and then creating cocktails based on their personalities.
Oh, that's exciting. And you raise money for a really, really good cause. And you're doing new and exciting things, you know, the walk every fall, but like all summer long, you're doing something in support of this great cause. And remind us when the big gala is.
So that is in August.
Right.
And one of
August
the.
16th.
You'll come back,
calendar.
you'll bring, like, there's the cameraman and director are in love with,
Laura? Yeah. How can you not be in love with this?
Zach, are you going home with this dog, just out of
How's the
curiosity?
ear?
Maybe.
Is the ear clean? Yes, that's my thing. Yeah, that's how you wear it.
Everyone wants a dog. And so, all summer long, there's something going on there, which is exciting. And this is Rescues in Rosé. Is there a charge to get in, or how does it work?
So if you go to arvhamptons.org, you can there are still a few tickets available, but we are already just at 200 people, so it's going to be a really fun party tomorrow. We have a DJ, so the dogs are coming out early in the party, and then they'll go home and go to bed, and then the people can have a good time.
Now, in all candor, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, how many adoptions will you do at an event like that?
We won't do any adoptions at this event, so they'll come back the next day.
They have to go through the process.
Yeah, we want to
tell
make
people
sure
about
it's
that.
not an impulse.
Right, a rosé influenced decision, right.
Yeah, so they'll come back the next day.
It's okay if you go with the auction that way, but the adoption we take a little more seriously.
And Jamie, there is a whole process. It's not just, I'll take that one and leaving. You have to fill out an application and.
Yes, all of our dogs available for adoption you can see on our website, but we have a great adoptions team that will work with you. You know, sometimes you have something in mind, but you'll sit down, have a conversation depending on your lifestyle. Do you work all day? Are you traveling? You know, and they will work with you to find that perfect dog. Because someone might catch your eye on the website, but once you sit down and work with our team, they know exactly what they're doing and they will find the best dog for you.
The other thing is that
Or
they
cat.
often have other animals in the house and they want to bring this animal who's new and see if everybody plays nicely in the sandbox, right?
That's right. If you have a dog at home, we require a meet and greet because sometimes, you know, dogs don't always get along or the dog's going to choose who they're going to want to live with. So it's a process. But again, we want to make sure that we set everybody up for success and that it's the right pet for that family.
Patrick, Barbette, you ready to go through the process? Do either of these look like something you want to take home? You know,
And it's not an intense process. Just so you know, the application, we ask a few questions, whether you rent or do you own, you know, things of that sort. If you have a pet, who's your vet? We check to make sure if you have a pet, they're up to date on vaccines. So again, it's not going to be a
people may not
lengthy.
know that pardon me, but people may not know that the rental question is about the fact that you were started 50 years ago because people were here for the summer, getting a dog or any kind of animal and just leaving it when they left the house. And that's how feral cats started, or maybe, and how these dogs were abandoned and running around. So ARF does an incredible, incredible job.
Yeah, and it's through like Rescues in Rosé, which is a young professionals group. It's the first time doing this. They really wanted to give back because they understand the needs of these animals. And for ARF, we want to be able to give back to the community. So we just started a low-cost spay-neuter clinic and vaccination clinic with the understanding that, you know, it's very expensive to own a pet. So we want to make sure that people have the resources that they need. We also do a pet food pantry. to make sure that they have access to food. We have a full training center, which is, in case it's raining, that's where Rescues in Rosé will be inside.
Which is, I mentioned earlier, a lovely facility.
It's 8,400 square feet. It's a big building. And there's plenty of space. What we do is offer scholarships in case there's some kind of issue going on and you're working on training and you can't afford it. So for us, it's very important that we give back to the community that has supported us for 50 years.
So anybody can come, and you'll help them out financially if you have to train them correctly how to take care of these animals. Do we have any local rosés involved? Yeah, I see, it says Woofer Estate on there, I get it.
Yes, actually, no, we have some sponsors. Thank you to Wolford, Channing Daughters, also helping us out, and Kid Squid. So thank you to all of them for stepping up and helping the cause.
We always say this on Weekend Live, that if you're watching this right now, these things are happening this weekend. This one's on Saturday from 4 until 7 o'clock, and it's called Rescues and Rosé. It's to celebrate the joy of National Rosé Day. I didn't know that was a thing. Barbette, you knew about that, right? Yeah.
Can't wait for it.
Hey, listen, we were talking about dragons, and you don't have any of those at ARF, not anytime soon.
Well.
What? Really? You gonna break a little news here?
ARF will be at the premiere of How to Train Your Dragon. And what we're going to be talking about, we will have some of our ARF dogs there, and some of them do have wings, I will say. But what we're talking about is how wonderfully they bond with their dragons and the training and all of that. It is very similar to what happens when you bring a new puppy home.
Oh, interesting. So the movie is kind of informational in that way, in a kind of a clever way. All right, interesting. Great. Well, look, let's go behind the scenes. Thank you, ladies. Thanks to Kim and Jamie. And thanks to our special guests here, Lucy and Huey.
Lara and Huey.
And Huey.
Oh, all right.
Something like that.
Have I been rosé drinking already?
I think so.
Yeah. Thank you so much. In the meantime, we mentioned that How to Train Your Dragon is opening this weekend. It's probably going to be the monster hit and taking the place of everything else out there. We went behind the scenes and actually watched this carefully because the two people who got cast in the leads, two young people, didn't know they were getting cast until this. Take a look.
I decided to revisit How to Train Your Dragon because it felt like an amazing opportunity to not only direct a live-action movie, but to be jumping back into a world that I frankly miss.
Here we go.
Finish the script. First draft.
I miss these characters, I missed this world, and I love movies that have a really poignant message buried deep within a moving spectacle, adventure, wonder. And that's what this movie really packs.
It's okay. I won't hurt you.
It's about a regular kid who gets to bond with a powerful animal. And there is something that's universally wish-fulfilling about that. But at its core, this is really a story about finding your voice and being brave enough to follow your own convictions in a world that wants you to become like everyone else.
Dad, I can't kill dragons.
Marching to the beat of your own drum has been such an important lesson for me in my life that I love to carry that forward.
I suppose it's just one question, really, is would you like to play Hiccup in the movie?
There's no way. There's no way. Are you serious? Thank you. Oh my, I can't. This is the best moment of my life.
Would you like to play Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon?
Oh, of course.
When it comes to Nico and Mason, these two just sort of came alive in the room, and suddenly I felt that they both embodied the core character of Hiccup and Astrid live in a way that nobody else could. Gerard Butler is stoic. He is the co-creator of the role. To watch him step right out of the animated movie, and here he is in front of you, Stoic the Vast, it's such a treat to watch. My hope is that those who had seen and loved the How to Train Your Dragon films will be keen to see what we've done, because it comes from a place of love and it comes from a place of respect. This whole thing is just one big giant adventure, and I wake up every day feeling so thankful that I get to do it.
Welcome to Barrack.
Boy, if those kids were excited to be cast in that movie, imagine how they feel about being on Weekend Live, the Hamptons now.
Can you
Congratulations.
imagine?
If they have relatives in the Hamptons, I'm sure.
We're going to talk about
Something to
food in a
aspire.
moment, but first, I actually got into. Well, let's throw up our Hungry for Hamptons restaurant guide because we're going to meet with the man. From the seafood shop in just a moment. But
it's big.
in the meantime, we're excited. Follow Hungry for Hamptons on
This is Bill's
Instagram.
daughter's,
Yes, it's her
Instagram.
birthday this weekend, too.
Oh, happy birthday, Lily.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to tell Mrs. McCuddy to go to ARF because I don't think you guys have enough dogs.
No.
How many do you have?
Yeah, that's a good idea. No, we have two. Two's plenty.
But his wife would get another.
Sue never met a dog she didn't like.
Yes,
or a horse.
Here I am. And okay, so if we don't have the Hungry for Hamptons or the restaurant guide thing ready, that's fine. I just want to talk about a piece that's in Dan's this week. I actually got into, after listening to, for the last 3 weeks, everybody talking about how difficult Swifties is to get into. And you can throw that behind us if you want. Okay, lunch at Swifties coming up here. I picked a rainy day. It was this week, Monday. I thought, I can't get in for dinner, but I can try and get in for breakfast or lunch. And I rolled up, and go ahead and scroll up.
Were they open?
I wore the right. They were.
You
open
did
for
wear the
lunch.
right.
And I had there's the nice valet guys.
The valet guys.
And
a
they
good
said,
start.
"Oh, I think we're overbooked."
Oh, by the way, that would be the hardest job in the Hamptons because you know how many
my
cars
boat.
keep driving right through that place.
Yeah, right. They have to have a net to stop them. Anyway, I
Poor
said,
valet guys,
They
the
got me
most
in.
dangerous job in the Hamptons.
They got to pay a lot for
Oh,
that.
look, there's
And-
Mr. McCurdy.
And they gave me a high top. I got upgraded. They told me the valet ran out and said, "You can have a seat at the bar." I was like, "Okay."
It's not a big bar in there. I would say there's only like maybe 8 seats.
Right,
not
it's
small.
basically a service bar, although they have a bar menu. So I want to tell you the headline here, if you don't go to Dan's and read the piece, is the food is really good.
It is good.
Lots of folks from Palm Beach who I didn't know at all are there. And I think Angela Boyer's coming on a little later to do the real estate roundtable. I think she had the exact same experience. She went, she knew a few people, but it was a crowd of very erudite, upscale folks that we didn't know. And it's because they're from probably the Palm Beach area and they're just visiting here.
Well,
although
nobody
plenty of people
needs
live
Palm
in both.
Beach heritage to
know.
go to Swifties.
Well, I will say the service
all
was
weird.
good, the food was good, designer clothes, designer food, and a lot of designer faces.
It looks Palm Beach.
Oh,
Definitely. Oh,
like
yeah.
this?
It's
kind?
very Palm Beach.
So you had an uplifting experience, is what you're saying.
Yes. There was no shortage of collagen in that
Oh, my
dining room.
God.
Have you been to Swifties yet,
No,
Barbette?
I don't need to go to Swifties.
Barbette Smith sitting with us this weekend as our special co-host. She knows all about fashion. A little later on, we're going to talk about what men shouldn't wear this summer. I've already learned this will probably be in the category. This would be a good tablecloth, though, I feel.
That's
like.
a beautiful tablecloth.
I'm pretty sure I had this thermos in 5th grade. Anyway.
I was just going to say it reminds me of it.
I think I had a flannel blanket in that
Backpack.
pattern, yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons. Now, everything going on in the Hamptons this weekend. We always say, if you're watching the show right now, thank you. This is Mayhem in the AM, or if you're watching it in the evening.
You know, we're giving
here's-
away points now for watching this show.
We mentioned
American Express points if you watch the show.
You guys, if
Write us
you're
for
watching
details.
This
Send
show,
your
you
yes.
gotta stay with us.
Yeah,
Because-
we can't believe this is a show either, and you can tell we don't rehearse.
Yeah.
This is what's happening this weekend. It's Juneteenth, the celebration of the South African
birthday.
Museum on Saturday. That's at 12 noon. There is a Strings for the Soul benefit at the Greek Orthodox Church, also on Saturday,
Gotta love.
4 p.m. Then there the Neo-Political Cowgirls. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, that's actually Josh's wife who runs the Neo-Political, Kate
Really?
Muth.
Okay, wait,
And
just
it's a performance
break it down.
group.
What is
break
it?
that
It's a
down.
performance group. They did something really cool. Back during Christmas, they were at Longhouse Reserve, and they did this sort of performance art piece while you were
Well,
looking
they're
through the
back
Christmas
for a
decorations.
benefit this weekend at Longhouse
cool.
Reserve. That's 5 o'clock on Saturday. I mentioned earlier Jesse Eisenberg is at the Southampton Playhouse
That
at
is
5
cool.
o'clock and 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, Julianne Moore drops by, and they're going to do some children's.
She didn't call me, but I'll reach out to her
She
later.
called me.
Oh, did she call you? Oh, cool.
Yes. Don't
We
you-
mentioned Woofer, and at Wolfer,
Woofer at Wolfer.
they have Rum Punch Mafia for the sunset at the wine stand.
That's a
And
good one.
Alex Edelman. Do you know the comedy of Alex Edelman?
No.
West Hampton Beach
I know
Performing
Edelman
Arts Center.
shoes.
We mentioned earlier on Sunday, Father's Day brunches at Baker House. The Hoodoo Loungers. Do you know the Hoodoo Loungers?
I guess
No,
I should.
but my kids have been to the Talk House every single night.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you know
it's a lot,
You know
too.
the misnomer about it? It's not Stevens, it's Stephen. Just like John Hopkins, instead of everybody says Johns
Yeah.
Hopkins.
Yeah, I
and
can't stand
Stephen,
that
I
either.
didn't know this for years. Stephen Talkhouse was the guy's name.
Yeah.
His last name was Talkhouse.
Well,
everybody just assumes it's
That's why Stephen Hans is here.
Stephen
in
Hans Path.
yeah.
Right.
But, which is kind of weird. It's next to Daniel's Hole, but that's a story for another day.
Wow.
Anyway, bump.
Are the kids watching?
Yeah, we love a good joke.
Both days, arts and crafts.
Sorry,
are in-
I'm sorry.
That's
No,
fine.
don't
Arts and
be. If you
crafts
didn't
fair.
say it, I would have.
In Sag Harbor. So we're talking about what to eat. If you're cooking for Dad this weekend, we have a special guest we're going to introduce you to in a moment, and it's also my Hamptons hack because he has brought they do a wrap, a lobster roll wrap that, as we said, with lobster roll,
Right.
lobster salad being like
lobster roll?
150.
With lobster roll.
It doesn't
In
roll
it.
easily off the tongue, apparently. With lobster roll being like $150 a pound, somehow they do a $16 variation.
I want to know the secret.
Well, you're going to find out
Well,
just after
not like-
this. In the meantime, let's take a look at the weather.
Yeah, let's talk about the.
Nobody's
think
counting.
so.
Nobody's counting.
No, we didn't. Put that back up. Restaurant? No, it's restaurant. Isn't it?
Okay. Focus on the stuff in front of you, for God's
No, we have an hour with Colin. Colin
I'm
Mather,
sorry.
welcome.
Yes, thanks, Bill.
He's from the seafood shop just around the corner. Did you walk here?
Pretty much.
Well, happy Father's Day, by the way.
Thank you very
Happy
much. I'm the father
Father's Day.
of two great sons, Jack and Joel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you
Not Jack-
really? Are they Jack and Jill?
Yeah, Jack and Joel.
Oh, that's
Yes, they are.
delicious.
That's
That was
true?
totally unintentional, by the way.
Wait, how?
Wait,
it
how could that be
has to be.
Well, Jack was the name of my father. Okay, so he carried that on. But then my wife and I at the time were watching, Risky Business. And we both said at the same
Under your
time,
leg.
Tom Cruise's character's name was Joel.
Joel, yeah.
And we both said, like that name. That was it.
Okay, so
Jack and Joel.
Yeah, Jack and
Jill.
Joel. Joel, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. So are they going to cook for you this weekend?
Probably not. They'll probably take me out to
I'm gonna answer
breakfast at
for you.
Goldberg's or
Yeah,
something.
no, yeah.
Correct. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
By the way, the new Goldberg's right behind you is going.
That's correct. That is
Which has
correct.
been the sandwich
Okay.
shop and been, yeah.
What number is that?
Breadzilla,
It's a takeover.
sandwich shop.
It's a world takeover. of
Yeah.
Goldberg's.
So, yeah, and now they're going in there. I think they're gonna do great there. You know?
All right, so if the family wants to
This
give
looks
Dad a
amazing.
break, this is your special planked salmon.
Yes, which you're a big fan of. and
Yeah,
you like
I've had
this.
it many, many times. Mrs. McCuddy had it at a dinner party the other night. It comes on the plank.
Yep.
It's,
Not this.
here, let's get rid of our Chiron. There we go. Okay, you see it. So it comes on the plank. It's priced by the pound. You go in there and tell them, we have 6 people, 8 people, they figure it out.
You do that, right?
Yeah, and they cook it all. You get the plank, you go home. It's
Is
fantastic.
it the same size plank, or
It is.
can you get?
Well, you
so
can-
you order like 2 of these,
She
but not
wants
one
the-
big one.
She wants the big plank.
I wanna
We try
want
to
the plank.
We try to corner the customer, you know, to buying the larger plank. But, you know,
You
actually-
do?
No, we do sell it by the slice.
You want the gang plank.
Yeah,
That's
right,
the one that
right.
actually you can use at the pool when you're done.
Who doesn't love a
Walk
plank?
it. But no, we do sell it by the slice, you know, through the, you know, in the case at the store.
Yeah, yeah.
It's delicious. I mean, you can, to be clear, because you're the seafood shop, you can go get that just fresh and cook it yourself.
Absolutely,
But the idea this weekend is we're going to do the cooking for Dad, and this is a perfect example of something you can pick up. It's done. You take it home. You leave it and serve it at room temperature. You don't have to heat it up or do anything to it.
That's right. And what most people do is they cut it down the middle as well, which I didn't do this
You
time.
know what?
Yeah.
Smart move.
Small pieces, and
Twice as many people.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Can
go.
I be super ticky-tacky and ask you, like, what is a gangplank go for?
Well, you got it yesterday, right?
Yeah, it's
so-
around $100.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
around
more,
$100.
it's gonna be longer than this. It's actually gonna take up the whole plank.
Yes.
This is probably
Okay, I
like,
think
we're looking at
that's
80
super
bucks.
It's usually about
Expensive.
7 slices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
29 bucks a pound, right?
Yeah.
So it's, you do the math. But the
No,
reason,
That's amazing.
the reason I'm excited about this today.
It's to squirt in
No,
your
is
eye.
that, we talked about a Hamptons hack last week.
Yeah.
And we introduced people to Serene Green because I say that's off the beaten path. It's not on 27. You can
Right.
get there, yada, yada, yada. So we've been talking about how expensive lobster salad is out here. And it's really, really reasonable if you order it in. Now, you've brought us 2 little lobster rolls, but you also serve it in a
wrap.
In a wrap.
Yes.
And that wrap, if I'm not mistaken, or if it's gone up since you got here,
No.
is $16.
It is.
And how is that even humanly possible?
Well, it really isn't, to be honest with you. But it's,
It's a good idea.
It is a draw.
Yeah,
and,
the truth.
and it's something, a discussion point, certainly.
Right.
Just
Truth.
like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And that the minute they come in for a lobster wrap, undoubtedly they're going to buy other things, which is always the
Right.
case.
Yeah.
So and then of
Just
course-
get 'em in.
Yeah, and they
All
love
right, you
the
heard it
lobster
here
rolls.
from the man who owns the place. It's a
Yeah.
loss leader. Get in there.
Right.
Buy him
Come on
out
out.
of them.
He's
Come on
not
down.
making a dime on this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But please also buy the $80 bag of potato chips.
Oh, there you go. Right.
So we're gonna actually try one of these little guys, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can have the full on.
No,
lobster,
well,
you can have
No,
the
no, I'm going this guy.
Right.
It looks contained.
And just so
And of
people
course,
know,
we
at
don't
home,
have any napkins here.
this is a dill sauce.
Yes, that's for the cedar plank salmon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's phenomenal.
Mm.
I mean,
Crazy.
so we've said like $150 or $200 a pound. What is lobster salad at the
We
seafood
have it
shop?
at $90 a pound, a discount price.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's considered, yeah, I guess that is kind of one of the.
Like
more
loaves and fishes, it's like $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
That was me, but whatever, I love it.
But they have 3.9 financing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
on that
yeah.
one, but
Okay,
yeah.
3 point,
Yeah, it's very friendly.
but you can finance it.
Yeah, that's delicious. So the lobster rolls you brought, do you serve those as well?
We do, and we serve them just by themselves, or we serve them as a platter with, fries or onion rings, even grilled vegetables, things like that.
Oh my God, I love everything about this.
Thank you, thank you.
But Sue, you had me at onion
I'm
rings.
coming there.
You had me at onion rings.
The seafood shop, I always say if you're going there and you leave, please make a right turn.
Yes.
'Cause it's a challenge. But you know what people don't know is that little parking lot behind you for Levon and all the other things is the perfect place to park.
Yes.
You get a light when you get out of there. I'm making that my new Hamptons hat.
And there's a
I'm
sidewalk.
sure
Yeah,
everybody
no,
knows this
light,
already.
the light is the
Yes,
key.
But it can be tricky to pull into the front of the seafood shop, but you're behind the wine store and next to there used to be a gym back there. and
But
all
it's a
sorts of
thing
stuff.
to be in the front of the seafood shop. I have pictures, as you probably have seen, of certain cars that have parked specifically in front of the shop
Oh
that
my
have gotten
God,
their
like the
pictures taken and put in the New York
Maserati and the-
Times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that ends up being somebody's Christmas card.
Yes, exactly.
I need
So
to do
it
a
is
photo
thing.
shoot there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've been around a while, so we're over 50 years old.
Yeah,
so,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Me
Well,
too.
listen,
Me too.
happy Father's Day.
Well, thank
Really,
you very
really,
much, brother.
really
You too.
thrilled you dropped
You too.
by. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Coming
you
up,
for the treats.
coming up is the real estate roundtable, but what else we got we haven't done yet, Zach? Anything? We've done we don't rehearse this. Can you believe this is a
Yeah,
show?
shocking.
This is
like the Drunk Today show.
We're going to talk real estate in just a minute, but we've got tag sales to talk about. We're going to remind you of all the movies that are playing and what times, because it does look like it's going to be a little damp this weekend.
No, we had to do also clothing.
Yes,
I'm
and we're
gonna
going to talk
redo-
about what
yeah.
men should not wear, and
Rain gear.
apparently
Yeah.
I'm the before picture
Yeah,
this summer.
exactly.
Colin,
Can't
happy
wait.
Father's Day. Thanks for joining us. Speaking
so
of wet,
much, Lon.
take a look at
Thank
this
you for the
weekend's
tour.
weather, and we'll be right back with the real estate roundtable. I'm taking this home.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
There we go.
Don't want to
You know what they say?
You don't want to sing
What was it, the old Woody Allen line? There's a million stories in the naked city. 999,000 of them are about real estate. Well, the same thing is true in the Hamptons. So yeah, we're going to talk real estate. Luckily for us, we have some heavyweight hitters here. Sarah Alvarez, Ravis Home Mortgage. Angela Boyer Stump from Sotheby's Sotheby's
International.
Sotheby's International Real Estate. And Ed Gachins from Andrew Saunders and Associates.
That's us, yeah.
Or is it Saunders and Associates?
It's Saunders and Associates, yeah.
It sounds better when you say it, Saunders.
Saunders and Associates.
So what's going on in the market right now, especially you, Sarah? Big news this weekend. There's some conflict. Oil prices are going to go up, I'm hearing, and what's going to happen with interest rates? What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because in mortgage world, of course, typically bad economic news is good for mortgage rates.
Right.
But in this situation, because especially with oil, that has the potential to be very inflationary. We have not seen a dip in rates. In fact, today we actually saw a lot of lenders repricing and raising rates. But
Right.
we're still on this sort of seesaw where it's back and forth. So it's not a sentence for the summer. I'm sure that next week there will be more news and we will be hopefully seeing those rates coming right back down.
Cool. And do a lot of your buyers, do you do a lot of financing actually out here?
I do.
And it does affect purchases, right?
Absolutely. And when things are inflationary, like with oil prices going up today, I don't think they're going to stay up longer. I was in the oil markets when I was a trader, and this is like a reaction to what happened today. But yeah, I mean, obviously interest rates are really important out here.
Right. Angela, now, one thing we were going to talk about, and you and I were discussing, is land out here. By the way,
They're not making any more.
They're not making any more in the Hamptons. And by the way, like one of the nice things is the Peconic Land Trust, which on the transfer of every home out here, you have to pay a 2.5% tax.
It went up recently.
And it goes up to.
Now it's 2.5.
It was 2.25, now it's 2.5, or was it always
It's 2 and now it's 2.5.
2.5.
Plus
Well, we know
mansion
it's 2.5,
tax,
plus
plus
the
the
ma-
1%,
Plus
so
the
you're in
mortgage
for 3.5 tax,
Pay for
plus mortgage
financing.
tax.
So they use that money to do what?
Oh, well, they hopefully use it to buy land.
Which makes it scarcer, I would assume.
It does, but there are actually lists of properties that Peconic Land has that they are searching for. So if you live close to
Water.
or want to sell a piece of property, you can go and look up and see if your land is actually itemized in their list of properties that they're looking to purchase. The alternative is to suggest that they buy your property, which does happen quite frequently. I mean, East Hampton has the same type of setup. So Southampton, East Hampton, they're buying and acquiring vacant lots. They want to turn them into preserves or agricultural reserves, and they pay market value.
Right.
So, but not every property qualifies, and certainly if someone is contiguous or adjacent to something that's already owned by the town, right? That's much more compelling.
Well, Ed, I know you've recently sold a couple pieces of land off the water. Is that more complicated or more difficult?
Oh, with the wetlands, absolutely. It's very, very hard to really get into a piece of land without that. There's so many restrictions from environmental use.
Well, you're in Bayview Oaks?
I'm in Bayview Oaks, yeah.
So I have.
Give out his address and his social security, Angela, while you're at it.
No, but I have a piece of property on 21 East Shore.
Oh,
and
it's gorgeous.
And
Oh,
it's
it's gorgeous.
absolutely stunning. You have those incredible sunsets, but you are limited because they have
Absolutely.
the beach on one side, they're bulkheaded with boating on the other side. But because of the beach, your setbacks are different.
Totally.
Pool opportunities different.
Where
You're
you
not-
have to put your septic, if you can have septic for so many.
Now, that whole area, like when I first came out here, and I know like Angie's been doing this as longer than I have actually, that area was considered like a B minus C plus. Now that's like that's a location, right?
The boatability really is
Is that what
kind
the
of a-
factor is?
Yeah.
Well, you have mooring rights there,
You have
correct?
mooring rights, and some of the homes have, like I said, like my listing at East Shore, we have bulkheaded, you can keep 2, maybe even 3 docks, 3 boats, depending on the size of the boats. So, so if you're lucky, you have the beach and the bulkhead.
What a great amenity.
I know,
Now,
right?
Sarah, let's talk about financing land. How is that different from when you buy a home?
Absolutely. So you can finance land, which is good news. The loan to values are a little bit lower. Typically, the maximum that you'd be able to achieve would be 65%. If you're purchasing the land as a primary user, you can expect the rates to be somewhere in the high sixes as of today, probably paying a point.
Right.
But on the flip side, if you were to be doing this as an investor, you're going to see significantly higher rates. So it also depends on sort of the purpose of buying the land. And at the end of the day, the bank doesn't really want you to hold on to the land.
Right.
They
Right.
want
So,
to
but
encourage you to build. So it's actually really typically the longest you'll find is a 3-year fixed term. Before the
really?
rates would
Yeah.
start adjusting, because they want you to build and then go
Will
into the
they
construction
also
loan.
then do some type of like a construction loan that they could attach to that? Because a lot of people are flush enough to maybe buy the land, but then they have to go out of pocket, and it's $700 a square foot, $800 a square
Right.
foot now, which is about.
$800 a square foot?
Yeah,
That
if-
low?
Well, okay,
Yeah.
1,000, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
like
just-
where are you building,
I'm
sister?
I'm trying not to shock the audience.
Where are you building?
I'm trying not to shock people, but yes.
You
But at
building with
those
Lego?
prices, you need to probably have a second loan then, right?
Absolutely, and the thing with the construction loan is that you have to have plans and specs in place. So typically, if you're buying a piece of land, you maybe haven't gotten quite that far, which is why you would just do the land
Is
financing.
it better to have your plans and specs
To do
and
a
things?
construction loan, you have
You
to
have
have.
to.
it.
But even just to buy the land, I'm
It
saying.
would depend, because you have enough time to put that together while you're
Right.
negotiating a deal.
So
It
there's
just
no
depends how
perk if
long
I
it goes.
permit something to just get the land loan. There's-
Only in the sense that somebody would be able to apply directly for
Right,
construction.
but there's no additional benefit on that.
But in terms of that, with a
Yeah, no.
construction loan, you can finance 80% of the purchase price and up to 80% of the construction costs too.
That's
So
fabulous.
it's pretty significant. But you do actually, as a borrower, need to put more capital up
And what's the
front.
time process on that?
And that's usually 12 to 24 months.
12 to 24 months.
So everybody
Okay.
get rolling.
Oh,
You gotta
cool.
get rolling.
So before we go, these guys have been in the business a long time, so I'm gonna ask them, what was the wackiest, because everyone loves real estate in the Hamptons, what's the wackiest transaction you ever did, Ed?
I mean, I'm not in it that long, but I can tell you, I did my first real estate deal.
With Angela, you told me that, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a pretty wacky deal because.
That was a wacky deal.
Because it was a low price piece of land and a
Right.
huge developer out here bought it. And there were a lot of wrong things with that land. And I was told that still to this date, that there a lot of wrong things with that land. They dredged it and it was dredge spoil and they had to put in pilings. And I was so happy to do my first deal. Yay.
You learned,
And it was not good for the
Yeah,
buyer.
he did a lot of due diligence though, and he pulled it off and he built, it was Farrell, and he built a gorgeous home there, which
Yes.
just sold.
Just sold, yeah.
For how much?
Again.
Oh, well, we can't say prices, but anyway,
Okay.
but for a big ticket.
For
I meant.
listing price.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Angela, what was your wackiest story?
Oh, I have a couple. I think one of my funnier stories is I had a guy that had never really rented here before, and he wanted to rent a house, and so he brought out literally $100,000 in a suitcase. And
Oh my God,
said,
that's a
I'm gonna make an offer and I'm gonna make it cash, and so show me properties. I said, that doesn't work here, we don't do that. But I was
you, pal,
nervous,
come here.
well, I was nervous the entire day because here I am.
the suitcase
with
in my
this guy,
bag.
You know, with this suitcase following me, and every time we went to look at a house, I'm like, you better bring the suitcase with you. But yeah, these are some, people don't fully understand that everything is done by lease, and that just doesn't fly here. Everybody's on the up and up, and we all do, straight.
It is true. Sarah, any wacky mortgage stories?
I mean, we sometimes run across funky things when we're looking at the title report that can sort of throw a wrench into what would seem like a perfect mortgage file. So,
Like what?
Any open permits, and it can be something from 20 years ago that the current seller doesn't even
They
know
don't
about.
even know,
So it's
right.
what a fun conversation that is.
Well, Sarah Alvarez from Ravis Home Mortgage.
Doesn't somebody have a lot for sale since you guys are talking about
Oh, we were
lots?
talking, didn't we show it
That was
before? We
me,
didn't
that was
show Angela's
33
lot.
Bridgefield, right? That's why we were talking.
Ah, there we go.
That's off of
And we
Ocean.
do have open houses, so let's talk open houses. Let's throw one up and then we can talk about it. I would say let's do 161 Watermill Town Road. Is that it? No, I don't know. There's a
No.
Douglas Elliman logo. I don't think that's not.
That is it.
Nope, this is 175 Bishop's Lane in Southampton. And they are doing an
Also
open,
beautiful.
they're doing an open house this weekend from 12:30 to 2. So if you're in the neighborhood, go stop by this obviously very pretty home on Seasons Lane in Southampton. I love the floors. The lighter floors seem to be back again, don't
Yeah.
they?
they look
So
good.
I represented that entire subdivision when they first subdivided those lots.
You know, a couple years ago it was darker floors, and now I think people are going for lighter floors.
Yeah, it's
We
like
gotta
white
change it.
cabinets, now we're back to natural wood again, and everything kind of shifts style.
Well, let's see the one on Watermill Town, if we can. Is that? No, I think it's a Nest Seekers one on Watermill Town.
That's Seasons.
That's Seasons Lane. Oh, wait, wacky. That was Watermill Town.
That was Watermill Town.
But then didn't it say
That's
Bishop's?
Seasons Lane.
I don't know. You know what? It's at Bishop's Lane. So this is Seasons Lane.
This is Seasons Lane.
We prove it every
day. Oh, you know what? It was my bad. I should have written this all down and I forgot.
That's okay. This is a gorgeous house.
Says that every week.
You know what? I was too busy making the donuts. Someone's got to do it, you know? Anyway, yeah, that's.
And I have an open house,
also-
but it's not going to be up there. But
Yeah, but
I'm
go
at
ahead,
80
tell us-
North Main on Sunday.
80 North, that's a historic home, right?
It is a historic home.
Oh, I'm at 100
that's-
Narrow tomorrow.
What's that?
I'm at 100 Narrow Lane in Southampton.
There you
we're
go.
all-
Everyone
we're all
should be
busy.
in
We're all
Southampton.
busy.
Visit the two best dressed brokers in the Hamptons. Ed, those pants or something. Where'd you get those?
I wanted to dumb it down a little bit, go a little bit.
Come here with those pants. We're gonna take Ed over to the green scheme with these pants. Come on.
Yeah, come on. We're curious about.
want
so
men
let's
to
go
wear
back to
this summer?
shot.
No, I'm getting.
Go talk to the.
Come back to this shot.
Am I gonna get?
Just step
Am I gonna
in.
get skewered here?
Just
Hang on,
step
I guess
in so
so.
we can see. No, you got. Yeah.
Yeah, that is delicious.
We like pants on this show, sir. Look, you're just like follow the bouncing realtor.
That is the best. Just say cloudy with a chance of meatballs in your house.
Wow. Very cool.
that was good.
Ed,
I
thanks
love
for
them.
joining us. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
while we
I mean, ish.
while we regroup,
I mean,
let's
I
take a look
excuse.
at the weekend weather, and we'll be right back to
sorry.
talk about all things fashionable. The pick of the week.
And we're back. We're back.
I feel like that hands emoji.
You know what? Can I tell you something?
Barbette Smith and Patrick McLaughlin, we are Weekend
Hi,
Live,
guys.
the Hamptons now. If you're watching this show, everything is happening that we're talking about.
Can we
This is
talk?
huge.
Because obviously it's probably people are sitting at home, they're flicking channels.
Stay here,
Stay here
because
for a minute.
this is such
But let's tell them what
nonsense.
movies are playing again. I would think that's an important thing this weekend.
Yeah, since you just saw the weather, it is going to be a little damp this weekend.
Yeah,
You
this
might
is
want to go
movie
to the
weather,
theaters.
people.
We mentioned Jesse Eisenberg and Julianne Moore are at the Southampton Playhouse all Saturday afternoon.
As is the ballerina,
Here's what
which
else-
won like
Ballerina is one of the best movies of the summer. Great action. It's from the world of John Wick. How
Ta-da.
to Train Your Dragon is brand new. It's going to be the huge blockbuster. But if you have not yet seen Mission Impossible and you saw the first half, definitely
Gotta.
see it.
Really,
I
you
will
know-
say for the first time before you say anything that you don't need to see this on a big screen. I know if Tom Cruise were
Really?
here, he would
In
kick
IMAX?
me out of a plane. But you don't. It's the scenes are spectacular, but it's one of the times that you don't need to do that. There's what's at Sag Harbor.
Materialist. That's the one with
And East Hampton Materialist is the one with Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Yes, and Pedro
She's
Pascal.
50 Shades of good.
Now back to live action. Speaking of Pedro Pascal, we have the absolute authority on
I know
what
this
you should
doesn't
be
really
wearing.
look like it.
No,
but
you
I'm
look
a
great.
little-
You look
Barbette,
great.
let's do a video together, and then we'll talk about what is Hampton style.
Did Indiana Jones pull this out of a cave? Where did you get that? That looks like something that.
I got it at an antique show. Just so you know, I find a piece, like a Tibetan, like it goes, I don't know, like in a church, and I take the bells out, and I said to the woman, can you just put a strap of leather through it? So it's like 40 pounds, and I live for this thing.
It keeps you.
Yeah. This I got, and I just put a chain on it. See how
All
I
right.
do that?
We
Isn't
went
it
to
so
we went to
clever?
something called InsideHook.com. We've been talking about this all show, so we have to get to it. It's what men need to wear this summer to please women, and one of the things they don't like is chic prints.
I say nothing.
What do you have against Nile Rodgers?
What did I say? What did I say about Nile Rodgers?
Okay, chic prints is really tricky. Just so you know, you have to be
was a bad
wildly
joke.
attractive.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about that. I like a quiet classic.
Okay. Also, Pedro Pascal. We've been talking about him for the whole hour because he's in that movie, The Materialist. He went to Cannes, or Cannes, however you say it, and he wore a
Cannes.
He wore a fairly famous sleeveless top. I think it was a black.
I don't
undershirt.
care. It didn't have sleeves.
And you don't, yeah.
No.
okay.
What about when
No.
Sharon
So you
Stone
agree.
wore? What about Sharon Stone?
No,
we're
this
talking
is what men
Yeah,
want,
men.
according to
And
women.
short sleeve, like, no.
High-waisted pants, good-smelling summer cologne, quality sunglasses.
Wait. They like which clothes do they like?
High-waisted pants for a man is the kiss o' death.
They like Tom
Which way
Ford.
are you dressing? Left, right? This is important to know, people. High-waisted pants on a man.
All right. Most importantly, closed-toe sandals like the Birkenstock Boston. Hey, I don't know if any of
I
those
know. I
things...
wish I could be more positive, but I'm going to show you when I make you over.
Really? Am I getting one of these?
A fashion faux pas?
No, maybe for a door knocker.
What's the biggest fashion faux pas you see in the Hamptons, guys? Other than Bill's shirt, yeah. Other than Bill's shirt.
Meanwhile, okay, I'm going to go clothes shopping at one of these tag sales. This is...
Oh, you know what? The
this
lady
is what's
LVI,
happening.
East Hampton LVIS is having their big fair this weekend, I hear.
Oh.
So
really?
Look at us.
Yeah,
You're like,
I didn't know.
oh,
We're
I'll
there.
meet you in the
But
parking lot.
go
Let's-
Google.
Let's
Go
motor
Google.
through some tag sales real quickly. Again, if you're watching this weekend live, these are happening right now. There's one at Sag Harbor 9 Palmer Place with, they've got
Palmer
one.
Ralph Lauren
Terrace, Palmer
furniture and
Terrace.
lighting.
Wow.
Ralph Lauren furniture is good. Go.
Yeah, okay.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It gets
Dishes
the
from
Barbette seal of
Provence.
approval.
I know exactly
Vintage-
what dishes from Provence they are. They're the
Yeah.
same ones everyone buys in Provence.
All
You know,
right.
those little ones with the dot and everything.
No, my friend. I
Southampton,
have
good-
hand-painted ones.
Good to
That's the
know.
one that I got for my
Good-
wedding.
Okay, you two, get a room. Good
Okay.
to know that this one is rain or shine, because that may be a factor. Antiques. Does anybody buy antiques anymore? We're going to find out at this
Well, everything I
multifamily
own is
sale.
antique.
Well, yeah, I'm an antique.
35 Longwoods Lane. Fashion, jewelry,
In the
art,
Springs.
pottery, household items, collectibles.
Okay, is this the only one?
1935.
No, we've shown 3 so far.
Donald
Marie. You-
Desky,
you were
Architecto
busy.
design dining table, and lots more. So that's
I missed the other ones. Fashion.
It is Juneteenth weekend. They are celebrating that at the African American Museum on noon Saturday.
Southampton.
And Rum Punch Mafia is at sunset going to be at Wolfer Wine. It's Father's Day all weekend long. All of the great restaurants across.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
That was
Do you know
quick,
something?
actually.
That I was born on Father's Day.
Were
the
you
only
really?
girl out of 5 brothers.
Really?
And
I'm the only one of I have 5 sisters.
oh my God, we're perfect.
Yeah.
Only
And
child.
then-
No one would have guessed
And
that. huh?
then my father died on my birthday, and my mother kept saying to the hospice, like, please don't die, it's her birthday. And I was like, no, this is such a full circle moment.
It's a full circle
It
of life
is.
thing. That's
It's
nice,
beautiful.
actually.
What a
I
lovely
loved
Father's
it.
Day memory.
Yeah.
Bar-
Maybe that was a little
Come back
too morbid,
anytime.
but
This was fun.
You should
by
have
the
led
way.
with that. That was the lead, and you buried it to the end of the show. It is the end of the show. There's an arts and crafts
I
fair
can't believe, thank God.
Saturday and Sunday in Sag Harbor.
That was fast
That's it. We'll
and a
see
lot
you
of fun.
next weekend when
We hope.
we're going to have pizza delivered from a yes, there's one more pizza place. Thanks to the crew and cast.
Bye,
Thanks,
you
guys.
See you next time.
Have a great weekend.
Crew and cast, are we?
Zach and the crew and